Hello and welcome to another video review. This time we're looking at the Armour of Contempt, book 3 in cycle 3 of Dan Abnett's Gaunt's Ghost saga. Now this book's a bit of a departure for Dan. The book can be evenly split into two, very like the Two Towers in that respect. The first part looks at Dalen Creed. Now we don't know it's Dalen Creed for quite a while, but it is revealed within the first quarter of the book, so it's not really a spoiler. Now, Creed is in for RIP, which, if you'll allow me just to check my notes, means Retraining, Indoctrination and Punishment Detail. And it's basically a detail for any new recruit or for anybody who has fallen off the tracks a little bit and needs that message reinforced to them that the Imperial Army is this and this is what we stand for and everything else. Alongside him is another ghost. Alongside Trooper Mert, who himself has become somewhat lost and alcoholic and addicted to gambling. Half of the book follows those two, basically, as they go through RIP training. They graduate from RIP training and then go back into battle rotation with the ghosts. Creed finds himself under Merrin. Mert finds himself alongside that as well. The other half of the book follows the ghosts as they're commanded to return to Geryon and take the Liberation Force with them. And what we see within that is we see the ghosts who've already been there against the ghosts who haven't, and there's a lot of arrogance, there's a lot of duty, there's a lot of, well, I told you this was going to happen, things that go through it. And with that we see Dan exploring the nature of those characters, but also exploring the nature of the world. And it's some years later. I think Gaunt was there for 12 to 18 months initially, and now we're coming back after a series of campaigns. So the world is essentially dead. The world is essentially run out. It's been depleted by chaos, and we're seeing that. But with the ghost returning, it's very much like salvation. It's very much like the heroes have returned. The Liberation Force, the hero of Canton has returned. Only it's not Jane Cobb. And we get this fantastic uprising and surge through, but also we see Creed being blooded in the first instance. Although it's not really until the last 10-15% of the book that we actually see that the storylines connect. There is this feeling that Creed's actually on a separate world, on a separate mission. He is sort of on a separate mission, but it's all to do with the Geryon insurgency. And again, it's a nice exploration of character. It's a nice exploration as the nature of ghosts and the nature of warfare in the 41st millennium. And it is littered through with Danisms. This has really been my first experience of the book where I didn't like it for a good portion of it. I found the Creed sections very tough to go through, and I found myself wanting to see more of what was happening with the ghosts and what was happening with their story, what was happening with their ploy and their plight. And I wasn't getting it, and I was getting frustrated. And I was getting annoyed that half the book doesn't focus on characters that I want to know about. With that in mind, when it got to the last act though, it flipped a switch in my head, and it really came about. You know, the whole story then latched in and made sense. Now, where you stand on that kind of experimentalism, I don't know. I liked it. I liked having that bait and switch. I liked having that rug pulled out from under my feet and going, no, I'm not going to like this. This is going to get a below 5 score. I didn't like this at all. This is going to get a sub 5. Oh, actually, that worked, and that worked very well. I would say that any book that can do that is clearly very well written, but I have to score it based on the fact that I didn't like half of it. despite that it winning me over in the end. So it's going to be a 6. I don't like giving Dan 6, but this book is a 6 for me. It's a 6, and I can only speak from my own standpoint. So I'll leave you with that. Next up is Only in Death. Looking forward to it already. I've heard lots of very nice things about Only in Death. So we shall see, and I shall see you soon. Ta-da!